It is Sunday, the 4th of September 2016. I'm engaged in my alternative spiritual practice of protesting against Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. And I just had a discussion with a cyclist, which I had hoped was recorded, but apparently something went wrong. You know, I hit the record button, but apparently it didn't take. She was asking about my picket sign that says unsafe sect. I think she saw the other picket signs, but she saw this one. And, you know, I told her in, the basic terms, that the Unitarian Universalist religious community, when a minister behaves badly, and that's exactly the term I used, behaves badly. So it's basically all forms of bad behavior by Unitarian Universalist ministers. When someone complains about that, instead of dealing responsibly with the minister's bad behavior, the Unitarian Universalist churches and the Unitarian Universalist Association have a very bad habit of pretending the minister did nothing wrong and, trying to silence the person making the complaint, and even bullying victims. I did bring up the clergy sexual misconduct aspect after that, narrowing it down to clergy sexual misconduct. I said that like other religious communities, the Unitarian Universalist religious community has its own clergy sexual misconduct problems, and that when a minister commits clergy sexual misconduct, it's the same dynamic. The church protects the minister and tries to silence the victims, kicks them out of the church if necessary, bullies them, intimidates them legally, and so on. What I pointed out to the cyclist was that my unsafe sect picket sign used to have a question mark after the word sect, softening the whole thing, making it a bit of a question, albeit a somewhat rhetorical one. But I said, I took off the question mark for the most recent edition because, it's a statement now. There's no question that Unitarian Universalism, within the context that I'm referring to, is an unsafe sect. There's really no question about it. It is not safe in the sense that it allows its ministers to get away with all kinds of abusive behavior, but on top of that, not only does it allow the ministers to get away with all kinds of abusive behavior, but on top of that, it tries to suppress and silence people who complain about clergy misconduct, even whistleblowers, like even people who aren't necessarily victims themselves of clergy misconduct. If they speak out against it, they are often ostracized and shunned and otherwise bullied by Unitarian Universalists, including UUA clergy and UUA leaders. And certainly, I told her about my own specific case of being kicked out of the church for complaining about non-sexual clergy misconduct. So she understood. She understood, as most of the public do. The only people that don't seem to get my protest are Unitarian Universalists. They're in such deep, willful ignorance and psychological denial that they just prefer to pretend that it's not real rather than deal responsibly with the past and ongoing problems. So, anyhow, we shall continue to walk back and forth. See somebody looking back at my picket sign. See this guy going in. He's got a name tag, so I assume, maybe he came out the side entrance and is going in again. That's it. Pretend not to see the signs. It's called willful ignorance, sir, and it violates the fourth principle of Unitarian Universalism, which calls for a free and responsible search for the truth and meaning of my picket signs, to say nothing of my chalk slogans that you're ignoring as well. So feel free to wallow in willful ignorance, psychological denial about the fact that the Unitarian Church of Montreal and many, many other Unitarian Universalist churches cover up and deny clergy abuse, including in some cases such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers. So enjoy your participation in a church that hides all forms of clergy abuse, including pedophilia and rape. So yeah, the guy was like blithely ignoring, you know, looking straight ahead, don't look at the signs, don't look at the slogans, typical reaction. I mean, I was just talking about the willful ignorance and psychological.
Can you help me to pay a bus?
What?
Can you help me to pay a bus?
I can't really, not right now. So guy wants me to pay a bus fare, and I'm not really in a position to do so at the moment. I actually have 10 tickets on my card, but I can't just give him my card. So, oh, that's lovely. But, you know, these things do happen. Hey, pretty good, pretty good.
Arrested yet?
Yeah, I've been arrested once or twice, yes.
Not lately, though, eh?
Not lately, no. I think they're learning that it's a waste of time.
Okay.
I've been threatened with arrest. I was threatened with arrest in May. So it might happen again. Could happen again.
They arrested you last May?
No. They said that the church members were gathering together to look for ways to, you know, have me arrested. Blah blah blah.
No, you don't show up all the time, do you?
Not all the time. In fact, they got a bit of a break this summer. But I'm yeah, basically usually a couple of times a month. And the more they try to shut it down, the more I protest.
Like Hyde Park, right?
Well, it's supposed to be, but they go to extreme lengths to suppress free speech, I can tell you that. Like the arrests that I actually had were complete bullshit. I was acquitted. You know, I had to go through like 3 years worth of trials, but I was acquitted in the end. No, I had fun doing it myself. It's much more fun representing yourself than having a lawyer do it. I totally destroyed the witnesses. So this little gentleman who apparently expressed his displeasure at the Unitarian Church of Montreal at the beginning of our conversation. You know, we had a nice little chat about things. He apparently knows about my protest because he said, "Yeah, have you been arrested yet?" And it's like, it sounds like he's caught wind of previous arrests. That's interesting. This guy's like hogging the inside of the sidewalk. So, what we got here? Just continuing our protest. Let's see, is this still running? Oh yeah. Had some sensor overheating problems earlier. Camera shut off a couple of times because the sensor got overheated. So I might actually shut it down to keep the sensor reasonably cool, since there's not a whole lot happening right now. That's it for now.